The official Rise of Skywalker Star Wars Episode 9 trailer released following the Episode 9 panel at Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to do my best to stay calm in this video and try not to hyperventilate from excitement. This is a huge moment for all of us, myself included, as this whole YouTube channel is based around Star Wars and our love for it. In this video, we're not really doing a breakdown of the trailer, we're going to focus on two specific things. With that said, my official breakdown for the trailer will follow after this video. I just wanted to get my initial thoughts out there about two very specific characters returning for Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, as well as briefly touch on my opinions on the title. So again, my official breakdown will follow after this video, so stay tuned. I just want to put as much effort into that video as possible, while at the same time giving you my initial thoughts and explain a little bit of the Legends backstory behind the return of these two characters. In Star Wars canon until recently, it's pretty much been established that a Sith Lord or a Darksider can't return following their death. However, that has been severely changed, and I believe specifically for this moment in Episode 9. At the end, it's implied that Emperor Palpatine will in fact be returning in Star Wars Episode 9 as one of the main antagonists for the movie, sort of taking on this role as the overarching villain of the Skywalker saga, which I believe is a good call on behalf of Disney. If Emperor Palpatine does in fact return in whatever form and is the individual behind Star Wars Episode 9 and all of the events of it, it does make him the definitive Star Wars villain. Now that we know that the intention for Star Wars Episode 9 is for Palpatine to return, we can look back at the Star Wars canon updates and really see the connecting dots. Specifically though, in the Darth Vader Dark Lord of the Sith series. In that series, we actually saw the return of an ancient Sith Lord back to life in the Lord of the Sith Mammon. Mammon was able to transfer his essence basically into a helmet, and whoever wears that helmet, the spirit of Mammon is able to possess. It was stated for some time now that Dark Lords of the Sith cannot return following death. However, this has been amended for this new canon, and again, for Star Wars Episode 9 specifically, I believe. We've seen, thanks to the Darth Vader books, that a Dark Lord of the Sith can in fact return following death. In what form, we're not sure. Ian McDiarmid appeared at the end of the panel telling them to roll the trailer again, of course confirming that the laugh at the end of the trailer does in fact belong to Palpatine. Something interesting about this is it does actually exist in Legends continuity where Palpatine returned following his death. In Legends continuity, decades after his physical death, Palpatine again returned to try to turn Luke Skywalker to the dark side of the Force. It is explained in Legends that Palpatine used his hatred and the dark side of the Force to cling back to life following his physical death, and that he had even gone to Hell, or what Star Wars calls Chaos, before his return. After this, he used his spirit to possess various clone bodies that he had cloned during his time as Emperor. However, because of the great magnitude of his power in the dark side of the Force, these clone bodies deteriorate at a rapid pace, because the energy placed within them is simply too much to handle. Therefore, Palpatine is forced to jump from body to body. Again, his ultimate goal in that story is to turn Luke Skywalker to the dark side of the Force. Specifically though, for Luke Skywalker to become just like his father, Darth Vader, and a new incarnation of Vader. Clearly that's not the way they're going to go with The Rise of Skywalker, but that's the backstory that you need to know for Palpatine's return in Legends continuity. At the end of the trailer, we see what appears to be the Death Star, meaning that we could in fact see some remnants of Palpatine. Not physical remnants, mind you, but perhaps some remnants of his spirit. In canon, Leia actually encountered something similar to this when she ventured to Naboo, and the site where Darth Maul was cut in half. In that comic book, Leia said that she felt cold, and she could actually feel the literal dark side of the Force around her. To the audience, it was revealed to us that Leia is actually standing in the exact location where Darth Maul first engaged Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Something similar is happening with Darth Vader's helmet, as there's been popular theories that Darth Vader will in fact return for The Rise of Skywalker, and maybe perhaps even Hayden Christensen will return. This is a theory that's going to be gaining a lot of attention after the revelation of the title The Rise of Skywalker, as the huge debate now, I assume, will be which Skywalker is this referring to. It's unknown if Luke Skywalker will actually return from death in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, or what the title really even means. A big question that I have is if Palpatine's spirit actually returns from death, what will be the implications on Kylo Ren? Palpatine, last time we saw him, was in fact a Sith Lord, and will he use Kylo Ren to attempt to rebirth the Sith from Kylo himself? Will the Sith in fact return in The Rise of Skywalker? And perhaps will Palpatine be focusing on Kylo Ren, and will Kylo Ren be taking the place of Luke Skywalker in Legends continuity? And will Darth Sidious view Kylo Ren as sort of a returned and reincarnated Darth Vader, just was his original plans with Luke in Legends continuity? Now I want to discuss one more thing before we sign off this video, and I begin work on the official trailer breakdown. In the same Darth Vader comics, it was introduced that someone someone can in fact return from the ethereal plane, or essentially return from death. We actually see Darth Vader walking through the ethereal plane as he searches for his wife Padme Amidala, as he uses the ancient Sith Lord Mammon to open a gate to the afterlife. Unfortunately though, Vader is unable to save Padme, and a vision of Luke Skywalker scares Darth Vader a great deal while in the ethereal plane, telling the future and that his own son Luke will arrive to defeat him. Again though, this is a concept that was introduced, and the idea that someone can in fact return from death in the Star Wars mythos. Again, the Darth Vader series is canon and has become far more important than any other series so far. So the idea that someone can in fact return from death has been introduced. Will they though is the big question. Will Luke Skywalker actually return from death? And will any of the characters be venturing into the ethereal plane to go get Skywalker? By the same token, will Palpatine use this himself to return from death? Or is he a Force spirit as well? These are all massive questions that unfortunately we simply don't have the answers to. What we do know though is that definitively Palpatine is now the Star Wars Episode 9 villain, and the trilogy of films have come full circle. If Sidious does in fact play the role of main antagonist in Episode 9, even if it's in the background, that would make him the definitive Star Wars villain of the Skywalker saga, as it should be. But that is just my thoughts on those two aspects of the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer. Of course, I truly want to know what you guys have to think about this in the comments down below. And has this trailer and panel reinvigorated your love for Star Wars if at any point you lost hope in it? Stay tuned later today for the official trailer breakdown on my YouTube channel, as we'll be talking about this more, as well as taking a look at the full trailer. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. Stay tuned on the YouTube channel for all things The Rise of Skywalker. May the Force be with you, and have a great day. Before you go, be sure to check out my other channel, The Marvelous Wave, where we talk all about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including news, breakdowns, and theories about all upcoming and past Marvel movies. Link to the channel is in the description below.